Alright, what's up guys? So today we are going to talk about the new Samson Q9U microphone. Now I know this is a bit of a different setup, but we're going to focus on audio today. So this is a very anticipated mic that a lot of streamers and podcasters have been waiting for, and that's because it is both an XLR and a USB mic, which means you can plug it directly into your computer and use it for, streaming or Zoom calls, but at the same time you can use it for podcasting. Now, I've used this mic for a couple of podcasts and I've come to really love it. And I have to say that for the price that you're paying for this mic, it is absolutely worth it. And I'll get to the reason why in a bit. But today we're going to have the Rode Podmic right next to it to compare. And I'll be switching between these two microphones somewhere in the middle of the video just so that you guys can compare and hear the difference. Now, the Samson Q9U comes in at about $260, $265, whereas the Rode Podmic comes in at $150. So there is a bit of a price difference there, but with that comes a lot of great features from this microphone and a lot more flexibility. So this is something definitely you can consider if you're looking for a new mic. Now, if you've done some research about the Q9U, you'll see that a lot of people have been comparing it to the Shure SM7B, a legendary microphone in the podcasting industry that says a lot about this microphone if you're comparing it to something that legendary. Now, of course, the Shure SM7B comes in at about $600 to $700, about 2 to 3 times more expensive than this. But like I said, the fact that they are being compared says a lot about how good this mic is. Now, before we dive into the whole technical aspect of this video, let's talk about what the features are physically first. Now, this microphone does come with a windshield. I'm not putting it on right now because I think it kind of looks great on its own. I kind of like this naked feel, but at the same time, it's really a personal preference of the type of sound you want to get from your microphone. So very quickly, this is the mic without the windshield, and this is the mic with the windshield. Now, you are going to hear a significant muffling of my voice, but at the same time, some of the plosives that I'll be saying may not be picked up with the windshield on. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper. Now, secondly, let's take a look at the build of this microphone. Now, most of the body is made out of this very strong metal construction. It has some weight to it, which is quite nice. It also comes with this very nice articulating arm with a self-screw-on knob. Now, this knob is something that should be on all microphones. I don't know why it's not on all microphones, but it should be. And the main reason is so that you can attach this mic on without spinning your entire microphone. This also means that you can take off this microphone without detaching the XLR cable, and that's extremely convenient. Now, the one thing that the Samson Q9U doesn't have is this tightening knob for the tilting of the microphone. Now, as you can see, the Rode mic has it, and it allows me to tighten and loosen to allow me to tilt this microphone a bit better. But for the Samson Q9U, it does not have that. But that being said, there's enough friction to hold the mic in place while giving you some flexibility in adjustments. Now, before we go on any further, I should mention that inside the box of the Q9U, you do get these two USB cables. One is a USB-A to USB-C, and the other is a USB-C to USB-C cable. Now, this will come in very handy if you're going to plug it into your computer and use it for streaming or for any Zoom conferences that you might have. Now, still on the physicality of this microphone, there are a few settings on the Samson Q9U. Firstly, the most obvious one is this mute button over here at the front. Now, this is made of plastic, so it feels a bit flimsy, but the functionality kind of outweighs the whole build of it. Now, this comes in really handy, especially if you're in a podcast setting or if you're in some kind of conversation where there are multiple mics, and let's say you want to excuse yourself or if you need to cough, you can simply press the mute button on your own to mute your own microphone and excuse yourself.
And the very interesting thing is the mute button over here. So if you're talking,
Talk.
and then like when he gets too noisy, I just press the button.
So this eliminates the need for you to mute it on the mixer. Sometimes if you're not the one controlling the mixer, it might be a bit difficult to mute your own mic. So this gives you the flexibility of that. Now, the one thing that I don't like about this mute button is, like I said, firstly, it feels a bit plasticky, a bit flimsy, but it also doesn't have any indicator when it's on or off. You kind of have to look really closely to see if the button is down or not. I felt something like a small LED light could be something very useful in this case. But then again, some might argue that an LED light on a microphone might look kind of weird on video. But if this is a microphone, I feel it should firstly focus on the capturing audio aspects of it. So the usability of capturing audio and how like a podcaster without any video could use this mic easily. Now the next few settings are found on the back of the microphone. Now here you have a low cut and a mid boost filter. Now you can turn these on and off depending on the kind of sound you like. So very quickly, just to explain what the mid boost and the low cut filter do. The mid boost basically gives you a bit more presence, cuts out a lot more of the background noise, and basically boosts the middle range frequencies. Whereas the low cut filter eliminates the low frequencies and reduces bass or muddy sounds. Now personally, I feel like the natural sound of the microphone without any of these filters works really well and sounds good enough to me. But I'm going to just do a test so that you guys can hear what I'm saying and see for yourself if this is something that you might like. The Samson Q9U is the greatest mic in the world. The Samson Q9U is the greatest microphone in the world. The Samson Q9U is the greatest microphone in the world. The Samson Q9U is the greatest microphone in the whole world. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really like the natural sound of the mic, like I said. But it is nice that they have these features on the mic itself, so it gives you some flexibility in adjusting your settings of your own mic. So that's pretty handy, and that's something very different from the regular podcasting mics. So with all that technical specs out of the way, let's do a very quick test between the Samson Q9U and the Rode Podmic. Now, like I said, this mic costs $265, whereas this one costs $150. So you are saving quite a bit by going with the Rode microphone, but is it worth the sacrifice of all the flexibilities of all these settings? Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just say a simple phrase and it'll record my voice through both of these mics simultaneously, so we'll get exactly the same recording, the same words, the same way I'm going to say all these words. And this is only possible because I have the new Zoom P4. Now the Zoom P4 is an incredible device, so simple and everything a podcaster needs. There are 4 XLR inputs and also 4 audio outputs, which means all of your guests can hear what they're saying. But I'll have this review out in a bit, so stay tuned for that. So which one of these mics is better? The Samson Q9U or the Rode Podmic? So which one of these mics is better? The Samson Q9U or the Rode Podmic? Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper. A pack of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper. A pack of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. Alright, so you can kind of hear for yourself which one of these two mics suits you more. I feel the Samson Q9U has a bit of a fuller sound, a bit more of a vocal presence, whereas the Rode Podmic kind of sounds a bit emptier, not as much of a presence. I'm not an audio engineer or an expert in this, but just based on a podcasting listening kind of outlook on this, I really feel the Samson Q9U has the advantage on this. Now, my recommendation, I think when it comes to price, you have to be very careful. Now, the Samson Q9U, like I said, $265, whereas the Podmic, $150. I can buy 3 of these mics with 2 of these microphones. Now, if you're a podcaster just getting started and you're going to have interviews of more than 2 people, you're going to need 3 microphones. And if you're on a tight budget, I think the Rode Podmic is the most viable choice financially. But if you do have that financial allowance and flexibility and you want something a bit better, I think the Samson Q9U is the way to go. The amount of flexibility that it offers, firstly, allowing you to use the USB or the XLR. Well, the USB, you can use it just for streaming or for Zoom calls. And if you want to do a podcast setting or for videos, you can use the XLR inputs and all the different filters that it allows you to use and all the settings that it has on hand. I think the Samson Q9U is a great microphone. So once again, that's my entire review. Not very technical, just from a user standpoint. I think these are really good mics, both of them, but it really comes down to what you can afford and what you actually need it for. Myself, I think the Samson Q9U could be my third microphone, basically giving me the flexibility to use it on my computer and also for podcasts. So once again, a big thank you to City Music for lending this mic to me. Go check out James's review as well. I'll put the links up there. He will have a bit more of a technical review because he used to be an audio engineer, so he'll know a lot more about me. But I hope this has been informative for you guys. It has definitely been a great experience using both of these mics. But I'll catch you in the next one. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and found it informative. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.